Hello and welcome to HyzerMedia's coverage of the New Jersey Doubles Championship at Thompson Park in Jamesburg, New Jersey. We're taking a look at the feature card front nine today. This tournament is run by Central Jersey Disc Golf. I'm Dave Oster, here with Rick Hansen. Rick, how's it going?
It's going good, Dave. Thanks for having me. On our feature card today, we have the TD Ronnie and the assistant TD TJ. They've tried to put together a nice little course here, make Thompson a little bit more challenging, as it's usually a more open and scoreable course. On the card with them, forehand specialist Joey Bruno and Brandon Koppenjan, who can bomb. So I look forward to seeing some of those shots out there today.
Absolutely, and we'll get a sneak peek starting off on hole 1. It's a par 3 and it is now playing at 327 feet for this layout. The basket is actually about 50 feet past this basket we're seeing here and slightly downhill. We'll see a little red indicator arrow pop up. That's where they're playing to, and the slope behind where the original basket is just adds that extra element of difficulty for the green for these players.
Yeah, the basket was on a little platform outside of the wood as we see Ronnie throw a little turnover. If that has the distance to get by the basket, that should put him in a good spot. You do have to watch for rollaways on that slope.
Yeah, it keeps going. There's a big open field down below it, so you can get pretty far past the basket if you get going.
Well, and the worst about teeing off from here is you don't know if it's a good shot or if it rolled away until you get way down there.
Right, it's actually blind. I think you might be able to see the very top of the basket from the tee, or some people may not even. It's pretty steep down there.
Yeah, we see TJ peel off a little early there. This shot really sets up for Joey's forehand, though. Aim it out at that left tree over there, maybe the second one on the left, and just let it come right back. Joey, little flex.
Yeah, I think it trickled down there. Maybe circle 2.
And Brandon going forehand as well here. Out a little wider. Gonna need a big skip. A little further away than Joey's there.
Yeah, I believe so.
Looks like they took Joey's. The good thing about this doubles format is either you have both guys run it, you have somebody play safe to give the other one full way.
Yeah, the strategy for doubles, I heard a lot of different things talking to the players while we were out there. And it's going to be interesting to see how the different cards that we're filming today, they play it.
Yeah, I actually played in this tournament, as we see TJ give it a good run. And me and my partner were definitively who's running it, who's playing it safe, always try and secure the par.
Yeah, I think that's a common way to play it. One player makes sure they have the next shot set up for an easy putt while someone runs it. I've heard some people, right off the top of the rim, some people say that everybody should run it because if the first person hits metal, then they could drop down to be parked and have another attempt at it. And that's a nice putt by TJ there.
Uphill. Joey's going to tap in his par, so both cards get out of here, par, and move along. It's crazy. That distance isn't too bad, but it makes a real big difference on that hole.
Yep, just trying to get close. And adding a little bit more distance on hole 2 as well is a par 4 at 598 feet. If you're familiar with this course, this layout is playing to the practice basket, which is probably 100 to 150 feet further left of the original basket and a little bit further. So your first shot is still thrown up this hill. You actually have the option to go left or right of this main tree, and then your second shot needs to come to the left of the gazebo, get past this one big tree, and don't go too far down this hill to the out-of-bounds road.
Yeah, right at the end of this chute near the top of the hill, there's a mando on the left to prevent people from cutting it off too far. TJ put it out there. Got around the big tree on the left. That's in perfect spot.
Yeah, I think as long as you're not blocked by that tree, Most of these players are going to have the distance to get up to the green in their second shot.
Ronnie looks to have turned that over. I think they're going to take TJ's shot.
Yep, that would be my guess.
Joey going tomahawk or roller?
I think it's a roller.
Yeah.
And a roller it is. That is maybe the furthest drive from that blue tee I've ever seen here at Thompson Park.
Yeah, up past that baby tree when it grows is going to create a nice obstacle
Oh,
on this hole.
absolutely.
Looked like Brandon going just for position there, trying to see since Joey's up there.
Yeah, and I think that's a good strategy they have. You know, they already have the bomb straight out there. Just give themselves a second look over to the left. And you were right there, definitely taking TJ's shot.
TJ flips it up real nice there. Oh, that's going to be parked. Nice shot. All right. So that means Ronnie runs this, right?
That's what I would do. It's a unique event in that you're going to get shots that you don't usually see in a singles event, because from 300 feet, 350 feet, most people aren't trying to make it because you're obviously running the risk of going well past the basket. But in a doubles tournament, you're going to see these shots, and it can definitely set up for some excitement.
I got far enough up that the forehand's the option because those trees on the left from further back in the fairway caused a little trouble. Nice up. Again, parked. Joey's got the opportunity to go for it. I've actually had the pleasure of playing with Joey a couple times, and his forehand is just beyond recognition.
Just a bit too far for that basket, but that's what you're trying to do. You know, give it the
Yep.
full run.
Nice birdie by Ronnie and TJ. And Joey taps out.
And we'll move on to hole 3, which is now a par 5 at 880 feet. Normal long tee out into the open through your choice of gap through the trees. In your second shot, you actually want to go up to or even as far past the original basket as you can, because the basket for this layout is about 300 feet past that, down towards the bottom slope of this hill. And you have OB Road all around it. So these players are going to be potentially getting it in 3, but most likely in 4 for the birdie or a par.
Yeah, right off the tee you can clearly see there's a nice forehand gap and a backhand line. And Ronnie then says, nope, I'm going to throw the backhand through the forehand gap.
That's right.
Nice shot out there. It might be a little obstructed by the trees, but should be okay.
So he's got kind of a safe, maybe obstructed, but safe distance. So looks like TJ's probably going to try to go. Yep, he's going roller and trying to get a lot of distance.
Curl. Oh, made the cameraman turn around. Always a good thing. Okay, so that looked like they curled back around into the fairway. Pretty perfect.
Yeah, I think that was even further than Ron's throw. So they'll, again, probably taking that, depending on the exact look they have for the next throw.
Joey going forehand roller again, it looks. Through the backhand gap. Oh, hit the tree. That's really the only bit of trouble on that hole is that grouping of trees right there. You get past them, it's wide open down there.
Yeah, and I would like to have seen how far that went, because I know that Joey can throw a roller a mile.
That's the flex forehand gap. That's a nice shot.
Yeah, nice and safe, get it out there now that he knows Joey's is well short of the normal landing spot. So good play by Brandon.
Joey has a nice pre-shot routine with the twist and turn. Get his body ready.
Yeah, very consistent.
Looks like
and
it's
here
got to
is
stop.
the mild roller going all the way down the hill. This is past the basket.
Did it curl up down there? Stayed in
It
bounds.
did stay in bounds.
Yeah, it makes it over that road. Hole 12 is back there. Oh, and Brandon overturned it.
And I believe that actually hit the road and skipped back in bounds. This hole curves to the left just enough that down the hill, the basket is actually way over there. As we see TJ trying to give some cut on that backhand roller, doesn't quite get enough and it stands up too early.
Again, though, that's going to result in a safe shot. Ronnie going aggressive out over the road. Oh no, throwing the roller too. Curled up a bit early on him. So TJ's didn't curl up enough and Ronnie's too much.
Yep.
Again, doubles, make it work.
Just like
that was definitely a bid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. These guys are past the pin on an 880-foot hole in 2 throws, throwing back up towards it, which is just incredible.
Another soft run at that from Joey. I have to say, it was a beautiful day out there in round 1.
Oh, absolutely. Little chilly when you first got there. Sun came up and it was nice and getting nice and warm.
Ronnie safe, so TJ full forehand run here.
Just a bit too much juice on there, yeah. But they have Ronnie's, so that was good play.
And I gotta say, Dave, in the background, there's a very handsome man in an orange shirt back there.
I think I have an idea who that might be.
As Brandon taps in for a nice, easy birdie.
Can't see it, but there's a handsome man behind the camera, too.
And Ronnie should make a nice, easy birdie here. Getting out of hole 3 with birds, for these guys, they might be a little disappointed with those, but I think they're okay.
And we move on to hole 4, par 3, 279 feet. This is from the normal tee to the normal basket. And basically, you're trying to throw a hyzer backhand through one of these gaps in the trees. A lot of players will play for the skip shot, try to land around here and skip up into the green.
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. High hyzer, get the skip. It's one of the very few wooded holes out here on Thompson that makes you throw a specific line. Oh, early kick.
Yeah, especially with the extended hole 3, there is a very stark contrast between the multiple roller par 5 and this pretty wooded par 3 in an open park. So I like the design of the course, especially with this layout, how it kind of exaggerates the contrast.
Oh, good curl up. I think this is probably the tightest line on the entire course.
Oh, probably easily.
Oh, Joey going backhand. You know it's a backhand hole. Oh, if that makes it, that's... Oh, that would have got a nice skip being that low. Joey and Brandon having a little bit of trouble here.
Pinging the
Scramble
wrong
to
way.
save that par. It's a nice zone Joey's throwing here. I know his bag a little bit from playing with him. Still a little work to do. And overcooked it.
Yeah. So, having played in this tournament, if you were in this scenario where they just were, where Joey didn't get it quite close enough, does the...
Oh, chained out.
Yeah, close. Does the second player, does that put more pressure on you? Because now you're not running it. Now you're really trying to get it close to give you guys a easy putt.
Yeah, I think it does. The second player, their whole goal has to be to either make up for or attack after that first shot. Oh, Ronnie just deep. But again, as you said before, I think this group of four here, they're running it the whole time. Turbo cameo? Brandon making it easy, so no, his putter was not rusty.
He didn't need to warm up. First one we see on camera, and he nails it.
All right, moving over to hole 5 here. The tee pad's off to the right from the blue tee pad, going in at about 314. It's a pretty straight shot through this center gap that the drone's looking at now. Or you can flex a forehand around that left tree. A little bit downhill, so plays a little shorter, and the basket's on a hill, so it's got a nice soft landing zone.
Yeah, and surprisingly how similar in location this tee is to the original tee. It really does change this hole completely. The fairway is a completely different fairway, even though it's only 30 or 40 feet to the right of the original tee pad.
Yep, it brings this out of bounds over there that Ronnie just went into play. That's really not in play from the straight blue tee pad.
Right. See, TJ tried to get a little bit better shot than Ronnie did.
Oh, and he pulled it. Is that going to fight through it all? No, hits the tree.
Right.
All right, first bit of trouble here. This sets up for a nice maybe flex or straight zone by Joey right at it. It looks a little faster than the zone, though.
Yeah, he might be going mid-range, trying to flex something back. Ooh.
Turns and cuts.
He just burned that one over a little bit. He's just so used to throwing 500 feet. He can't throw this little 300-footer.
Yeah, that's why I thought he was going to go zone. He can push that.
Yeah.
Brandon ends up a little early, too. It looked like he might have kicked a tree to kick him down there.
Yeah, I think he's right by the tree with the initial gap. So we'll see 4 shots at outside the circle for a 300-foot hole.
All right. Leaves him with a little tester there, so I think TJ's going to be a little more aggressive with the jump putt.
They have...
Didn't get the height he wanted on it, but that's going to be a nice, easy par.
Yeah, coming from out of the woods, that wasn't an easy lie.
Joey has that big step putt.
Yeah, he gets quite a bit of distance just from getting over his lie.
And that's safe, so I expect Brandon to fully go at this big commit here. Just flexed a little too much. I have a feeling this is one they're both teams are going to feel like they lost a stroke here.
Yeah, I think a lot of players are going to be getting this hole, and in fact, it is playing right about in the middle. About half the field birdied this hole on round 1, so you're right that they're definitely missing this birdie.
Hole 6 here, playing from the natural blue tee position. You got to clear this road on a normal day. For today, this was an island fairway, so right about at this tree coming up here on the left, there's going to be the sponsor wall. You got to clear that, otherwise you proceed to the drop zone, which is before the road on the left. Once you get your drive here, you're going to have the hyzer shot on the right. That's a little better angle to go into the hill, or the forehand shot coming down. The basket sits on a little bit of a slope. Woods behind and off to the right are all OB. Flex shot or big forehand is what this calls for here. Just didn't turn on him. There is the line over there. As long as you get past it, you're in bounds. It looks like he's far enough.
I think he skipped over the line. Yeah, to the left of the tree. It's the same distance, but without that wall, you can get it a little bit lower and get lucky by skipping over it.
That's right into the tree, right about where the drop zone is over there.
Perfect. He can pick his disc up and throw it again. Just one penalty stroke. This looks like it sets up a good shape for Joey's forehand. Let's see if he can get over this. Oh, catches some trees. Falls short.
Yeah, round one, I threw a flex forehand, and it came up 3 feet short of the wall on the right.
Oh.
And I felt like I got every bit of that, too.
Yeah, it's far. I think that's at least 320 and uphill. This
nice
isn't...
flip up.
Short. It's not making it either. Definitely not an easy throw. We see only one of the 4 players on his card made it over.
Yeah, and all these guys can throw that far. That's got to be a good forehand. A little bit of a low ceiling the closer you get to the hole. That'll be, what, 40, 45 from there?
Yeah, something like that. And I do like the design of this hole. It's a good drop zone, like you mentioned. You still have to hit a gap with a low ceiling, and it's not an easy par save.
Yeah, and you can see the low ceiling coming into effect there with Joey, keeping it a little too low. So they're going to have a tester for their par. The hole opens up wide up from over there.
Yeah, it's a good angle. Getting a little bit further up past there and right in between this row of trees to the right.
It looked like he was going right at it, so I'm gonna say that was a bid from back there for him.
And right about at this part of hole 6, and then moving forward, the wind in the open fields really starts to pick up. So if that was a tailwind, it could have just dropped more than they expected on him. Same thing with Joey. Looks like he gave it a run, but it just came up short.
Oh, just flies it by on the right-hand side. Now, was Ronnie laughing at their misery and taking a bogey right there? It's a bogey and a birdie on 6.
Yep, it's one couple feet difference between their drives. Made a 2-stroke difference, but we'll see how they fare on hole 7. Par 4, 525 feet. Your initial drives are trying to crest this hill that from the tee bed kind of blocks your view for the rest of the fairway. You're trying to get somewhere near these trees or the telephone poles, maybe to the left, somewhere to give you a look down into the valley of the next part of the fairway. And for this layout, there is a peninsula green that is no more than 15 feet behind the basket. So second shots for these players have to be very careful with their speed coming into it.
Yeah, Bale's had a little left over there, but it's safe, so I think TJ can fully go at this because that wood line on the right is also playing as OB. Oh, it looked like it was trying to get over on him. All right, so they're both over there. Should leave nice up shots though. But you're right, and the peninsula now comes really into play because they're gonna have to put a little bit more speed on it. Coming back. Yeah, that's more what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a great shot from Joey there. And Brandon, see if he can match it or best it, but that's going to be tough. Does get something coming back.
Big stand up. He released that on a lot of hyzer angle.
Yeah, and we see you just have a couple things in your eyes. They're not necessarily in your way, but probably more in your head than anything.
Oh, just squeaks in. That's nice. Turned over a little much. Yeah, you could see the flags there to see how tight that peninsula is.
Yeah, this is playing as the easiest hole on the day at a 3.14 average for a par 4, and that's with this peninsula green.
Oh, what a bid by Brandon.
Oh,
He wanted that. You could see it.
That was a eagle bid.
Oh, wow.
We still have one more shot at it.
Scuba? Did I see his hands right there?
I think maybe he's holding like a... yeah, overhand, something.
Oh, really? Wow! Just gunned it. Oh, just hit cage.
And that was going fast. I'm not sure if that hit the chains, if it was going to stay in anyway.
Who knows if that basket would stay standing if it hit the chains. Nice easy birdie, though, for Ronnie and TJ. Joey taps his and Brandon's birdie out as well. Our card got out of there doing exactly what you're supposed to right there.
That's right. So we'll move on to hole 8, par 4, 590 feet, playing from the original blue long tee to a temporary basket that's about 30 to 40 feet behind the original basket. You want to get something out as far as you can, backhand hyzer or backhand turnover to the left side and get you out pretty far. Setting yourself up for another shot into this green that has a tight OB line behind it. Similar to the last hole, your speed control coming into the green is going to be pivotal for your second shot.
So there's the main fairway down on the right-hand side. It looks like Ronnie was trying to go down that left side closer to hole 9 over there to open up that approach shot a little more. And TJ doing the same. That should skip out.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of players go to the left side, kind of the alternate fairway, just because it's more of a straight shot, so it probably takes off a few feet of distance for them.
Yeah, when playing the normal basket, there's a tree on the right-hand side that doesn't really get in your way when playing the normal basket, but for the back tee position, as Joey just bombs a turnover forehand. Wow. The tree right above his disc, that's not going to bother him.
No, and he's almost parked on that original basket as a par 4. That was an amazing forehand throw by him.
You can see the wind picking up. What's Brandon thinking over here?
Just a bit low. I think he knew how far Joey was, and he was just trying to get it out there as far as he could. Comes up just a bit low.
It's a nice looking shot by Ronnie if it stops. Ah. Oh, hits the trees. But that's the one they're going to have to take here.
And on the card, they didn't actually know it was out of bounds. They assumed it stopped. So TJ actually picked up on the way up. So they're going to have to play that out of bounds shot.
Oh, Brandon OB. But lesson learned there, kids. Playing doubles, verify that lie first.
That's right. There were plenty of spotters out here today. Different holes. Unfortunately, this one didn't have one, because there's not too many blind shots, but it was just far enough away that they weren't sure. Or at least they thought they were sure, but wound up being incorrect.
And he's taking the meter. That means this is a putt for par.
Fortunately, the way it played, if they had taken TJ's, probably wouldn't have made it and would have wound up with the same score anyway. So, fortunately, no harm, no foul, as long as he makes it, he does.
And Brandon going to tap out the nice, easy birdie for them.
So we will move into the final hole of this front 9. It's a par 3, 428 feet. A few feet further back, right along the wood line, is the tee pad and to the original basket. This gives this hole just enough distance that makes it hard to get there in one shot. Depending on the wind, some players can get it, some players can't. Today they were throwing into a headwind.
Yeah, this is a par 3 for most mortals that we can get from the blue. But from back here, this was a hole I played for par. Brandon right up the middle. Joey turned his over and hit an extra tree. So I'm sure neither one of them are really happy with their shots. But again, get out with the par.
Yeah, there is an OB road to the right, so a headwind with a backhand there. Definitely don't want to turn one over. I've definitely thrown it to the right into that road before, so if I can do it, I'm sure they can.
Ronnie put a nice flex up there. I feel like TJ's been close on some of those, getting them to flip just a little bit more and they'll be perfect shots.
Yeah, and we see that none of these players are in circle 2 or pretty much anywhere close enough to give themselves a decent look at it. And this hole is coming in as the 4th hardest hole today. It's still almost a quarter stroke under par, but that's because of the doubles format. But being the 4th hardest at only a par 3 with almost nothing in the way, you can see that that extra distance really does give a challenge to these players.
Yeah, and as you talked about before, you're out in the open field, so the wind's a factor. Oh, good bid by Ronnie. But yeah, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit here. All right, both groups should tap out their pars. A little Paige Pierce action there, huh?
Yeah, he actually said it on the card. It was a tribute to Paige Pierce and his daughter, who idolizes Paige Pierce and putts similar to her, so it was a nice tribute to him.
So that finishes up our front 9 here with Ronnie and TJ coming in at 4 down and Joey and Brandon 1 stroke behind with a little bogey on 6 there. But other than that, pretty clean rounds for our guys.
Yeah, and we'll see how they fare on the back 9 coming in for the first round of the New Jersey Doubles Tournament. We hope you enjoyed this coverage so far. Please check out the back 9, and if you haven't, subscribe to our channel. Other than that, we will see you on the next hole.